How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Thought I was in the wrong place.
No, you're at the right place, right time. There we go.
Oh my God, I got so many bug bites this weekend. It's crazy. I have welts everywhere.
Were you outside?
Yeah. By the water.
No. I'm curious how many are going to be on tonight.
Did you have a good fourth?
Yeah, it was all right.
I know you didn't get to do your race, so it wasn't a normal fourth.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's one of those sad things. It's like that's been part of our life since, well, my first one was 2006. So I think we've missed 2 or 3 in that whole period. And a couple of them were because with the kids, we just couldn't get there. But it's been part of our tradition. Like
Yeah.
on the third, we know what we're doing. We're hanging around Buckhead. We're going to a restaurant, having lunch, and then the fourth, we get up and we run, and it was just nothing to do. We still went out and did a workout, but it's just not the same.
Right.
Not the tradition. It's like having Christmas. You're used to having the big family around or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's just yourself at Christmas. It's not the same.
Right.
But next year we'll be back to normal.
Let's hope.
Well, we have to be positive.
Yeah.
There she is. Look at that. It's just Maria and
Hey
us.
there.
Hey there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am marvelous.
Okay, so no Stacia. I think Charlotte's at the beach. Do you know if she's at the beach?
I know she was for the fourth. I'm not sure if she's still there or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Okay, we've grown. We have Laura. We have Paul and Denise coming in. Hey.
I guess I need a chair.
Well, you can sit on the bed.
Okay.
I was just in the middle listening to Colin Haskins on that
Interview.
that Zoom with that young entrepreneurial gal.
She's a
It's
tough
interesting.
one.
Pardon me?
She's a tough one.
Yeah, yeah, he's real patient. I've never seen him or heard him in action like that. And yeah, I've only seen him speak at events. So I'm really liking it. And the way he's just listening, letting her on and on. But she really does have a lot of experience. At first, you didn't know if she really did or not. But I haven't gotten, I think I'm not even, well, probably not even halfway through yet.
Well, I will say this, she gives him a hard time. But I think that we all can learn
Yeah.
from that immensely because his posture is incredible.
Yeah, I think he's starting to kind of not break her down, but get her, to just really open up, just instead of just spouting off all her business coaching and all her, the networking experience, and I think what's coming now is she's going to kind of open up a bit more.
Well, and keep in mind that it's not his contact.
I don't know who she is or where she came from.
She's Dan's contact, the other guy that's on there. She's Dan's contact. So again, like think of yourselves. Would you be the one doing what Colin's doing, or is it about working as a team and borrowing someone else's posture?
Right. Yeah, I'm finding it fascinating, really, because like I said, I've never seen him talk to anyone, as a interview, just always up in front of the room. And so it's very different seeing him actually put it into action like that.
Well, I think that's the challenge, is unless we do these Zooms together, you don't see somebody in an interview situation. And until you have enough experiences in that situation, as you know from doing calls, every call is different. You can't sit there and say exactly this.
Right.
There's just no exact anything, because you don't know where the conversation will go.
Correct.
There's Jamie. Hey, Jamie.
Hey,
You're
you're
muted.
still muted.
Hi.
Hi. There you
You're not
go.
muted anymore.
You don't want to be mimed? Mime?
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Good. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good. I understand that you guys have 8 kids in your house.
It seems that way, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have 5.
Are they all in bed?
All
all
but
but
one.
one.
Well, we
2 of them are gone right now.
yeah, we shipped them off to boarding school.
Whoops.
We just lost Cameron. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, good. So Ricky and Jamie, why don't you introduce yourselves to everybody here? Let them know who you are and why you started the business. And because you're brand spanking new, really. You guys haven't done anything yet.
Oh,
You're-
you're muted again. There
Okay,
you go.
there. Jeez. So we're Ricky and Jamie Dean. We live in St. Louis. Started doing the business just looking at the products and stuff. We really like the products, and I believe in them.
Oops. Oh, now muted.
What is it?
I don't know.
Is it different?
I don't know why,
You're
but
good now.
You're good.
what else? We started really doing the business just to be flexible and being able to do things from home, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
So
Good.
So, question, what are some of your favorite products so far? Because I haven't had a chance to talk to you since you really got started.
I'm doing the collagen. Well, I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Teach us about that.
Well, I feel like my skin is tighter. I'm not gonna lie. And it actually doesn't taste that bad. I just mix it with juice or water. I mean, it's got like a grapey flavor in my opinion. So, but I like that. And then we're gonna order some of the multivitamins. I want to order some of the multivitamins and like melatonin and stuff for the kids. I want to get something the kids on, like a probiotic or something for their gut.
Mhm.
So I need to get back on there. And I've been doing a lot of the Stacia taught me the shop.com, what is that little shop helper, shop buddy?
Stop, buddy.
Yeah. So I've been using that a lot. So yep.
Awesome. So awesome things. So just reminding you that we are available if Stacia's not. I know she works a lot of hours. So we work together as a team. So anybody on here, get to know everybody because we all help each other out. I mean, the fact that we have Zoom, it doesn't matter where anybody lives anymore.
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful thing. So Jamie, you're a realtor, right?
Yes.
And Ricky,
Mortgage banker.
mortgage banker. Thank you.
Mhm.
Just trying to remember. Awesome. So if you guys can stay unmuted, do so. I don't know if you have background noise. I mean, right now you're fine. So if you want to stay unmuted, because this is interactive.
Yeah. No, it's fine. We just have one we're gonna leave it. Ricky's gonna leave to put him to bed here shortly, but yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with just getting in the habit of the business, I guess, because a lot of the items that we use, we have probably tons of them already here. So it's just getting through the inventory.
Mhm.
And then sometimes I'll say something that to Jamie, I'll mention something to her. Hey, I want to do this, or I want to start, doing something. I forgot what it was the last you told me.
Oh, he wants to start doing the credit monitoring, and I said the
Oh,
business. You can
yeah.
do that through the business.
Well,
So-
I want to start, the monitoring, and then I want to be able to dispute.
and that
and stuff
he
like
can
that.
offer that to his clients.
So I just want to get on it and just do it myself, and just see how it works and stuff like that. And then I could look at getting the clients enrolled into it. And, is it just credit monitoring, or can you dispute items on your reports?
Are you talking the debt shredder program?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really.
Actually,
We haven't really. We were just told that it kind of like it did it, so we don't know. We haven't done enough research on it.
Okay, well, let me introduce you to Paul and Denise. They're to our left. You're right. I don't know where they are on your, but an agent. So we'll let Denise explain.
Hi. Oh, hi.
Hi. So the debt shredder does not have a credit aspect to it. It is an online software program that an individual can purchase, and it guides them step by step, day by day or week by week, however they manage their cash flow, into paying their debt, and will guide them into paying it off in usually about a third of the time. So you just got a 30-year mortgage, it will walk you through how to pay your bills every month and show you how you can pay off that same debt in probably 10 years instead of 30.
Awesome.
Which actually helps your credit, but it doesn't have a connection to a credit component.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's more clearing your credit, like debt. I mean, that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
It
Yeah.
doesn't- Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, what I've learned in talking to people about debt shredder is that people have a different perspective of what debt means. Like, I've talked to people before and they said, oh, I don't have any debt. I'm like, oh, great. You mean, it must be nice to be living in your house free and clear. I can't wait till I get there. They're like, oh, well, no, I have a mortgage payment. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's debt.
But your cars, you got titles to your cars. Well, no, we still have a car payment. No, so some people think when they hear the word debt, they think like collections and bad credit and get that kind of thing. And so you have to have that conversation with them to help them realize what you mean by debt.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I have a mortgage background too, so it's funny to me that so many people don't really grasp what debt is,
Right.
and even if you get all of those things paid off, you still have residual debt because you can't pay off your car insurance and you can't pay off your utility bills. You're going to have
Right.
bills for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But one benefit to that program is that if you do get to a debt-free situation and you don't need the program anymore, you can pass it on to a child or a sibling or whoever you want to give it to, as you own it for life.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Denise, can I give them your number so that you can keep them informed as when the next trainings are coming up?
Sure.
I mean, I'm sure it's in the back office, but the thing is, obviously, we see a lot on Facebook in the different groups, and I know you're connected to a couple of the people.
Yeah, there's ongoing training pretty regularly.
Yeah, and even like if Jessica did like a lunch and learn or whatever, one of the events she does, that would be good for them to listen into.
Right, yeah.
Maria, did you-
Maria has a question.
I have a question. You said about giving them her number. I don't know if everybody is okay with this, but you send out that group text. Is it possible for you to identify for us the numbers?
Yeah.
Because some I have in my phone, obviously Laura and Denise and Charlotte and you guys and Stacia, but some I don't. And people are answering and you don't know who's answering.
And just so you know, you can't have more than 10 or 15. I can't remember. I think it's 15. I can't have more than 15 people in a group, in a text group. It cuts me off. So I actually have 3 groups that I text out to. So you're not all in the same group. So what I'll do is have the group that you are in, I'll put it out to all the groups so that you can identify your numbers if you want to. But not all of you are in the same group because I can't put everybody in the same group.
Right.
But I will say,
Can we do email?
we can. And so what I can do is I can send out an email to the whole group and everybody can just put their numbers. Or what I'll do is just put everybody's numbers in there so everybody has each other. And that way you can then put it into your phone.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds good.
You're welcome. That way, because there's so much talent between, I mean, and in addition to what's on here tonight too, we have so much talent on the team. And we just feel that it's not all being utilized. That you guys could be utilizing each other immensely for different things. I mean, a lot of you think that you need to wait for us. And then I always hear, well, you don't want to bother you. You're not bothering us. This is what we do. And we've chosen to do it. So I would say bother us before we choose not to do it. Because at some point we're going to take time off.
Yeah, but please bother us before 11 Eastern at night. Like, you know, like 9 in the morning to 11 at night. Those are good hours. All right.
Okay.
So one of the things we wanted to cover tonight and just kind of catch up, because we want to get back to the stories and see, where do we stand? How does everybody feel about their story? I mean, have we had an opportunity to use them, to practice? What's going on?
Can anybody give us advice on, so since we are not familiar with all the products or anything like that, like, I'm all for the business. I think it's great and that sort of stuff, but I think I've kind of, the coronavirus happened and then I went back to work and I was all focused on it. And I feel like I've kind of gotten out of the, I don't know, like, I'm motivated, but I've lost my verbiage.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, because I don't know everybody who's on the list. Are you receiving the emails that are going out, the automated emails?
I am receiving the emails. Yes.
Okay. Well, within each one of those, there are steps to take. And one of them, and I'm not sure if we've gotten to it yet because now they're automated, but one of them is going to be working on your story, knowing your why, and kind of getting that working on your why. And that just means why you want to do this. And once you get that to a point where it's so strong, nothing will stop you from moving forward. So
But I mean, is that how you present it to a person? Like, it's like, this is why I'm doing it? Or like, you see what I don't know why. I think I've just lost it. Like, I lost my like niche of, hey,
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Let me ask you this, Jamie, you have the evaluation approach sheet.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so what you're going to do is use the evaluation approach, but in there you're going to put this little segment of your story, because people are going to buy your reason for doing it more than what it is, because they're buying you. They're
Okay.
buying what it is and what it can do for them, but they've got to connect to you somehow. So it's important for your story to be in there. So that evaluation approach, our story gets married into it.
Mm-hmm.
So that you can approach. So I'm going to actually ask Denise, I know you've been approaching some people recently. Can you share how you've been using your story? Because again, I just want to say this, we go from our story, which is typically a long story of, you know, why we looked at this. It's got to be narrowed down to a couple statements. And Denise, can you just share how you've been using your story to kind of take the evaluation approach to have people, whether that it was, you had 2 guests on the event tonight that we just got done doing with product. And I know you've had a couple people wanting to evaluate the business.
It's kind of, it's person dependent, you know. So like the girl that was on the TLS thing tonight, she commented on a post that I made, just a general post I made about my business, and was curious, you know, about what I was doing. So I just told her I'd be glad to share with her what I was doing, and that I knew she knows a lot of people, and I said I would really love to hear your feedback on it anyway, because I know you, with all the people that you are in contact with, you probably know people that would be a fit for what for some areas that we're trying to fill in. You know, right now our business is really growing, and we've got some space available for a couple of new people. And so I just love for you to look at what we're doing, and you know, it may not be for you, but with all the people that you know, I'm sure you know somebody that can help us out.
Beautiful. So, and that, when you look at the evaluation approach script, it's going to be very much that it may or may not be a fit for you, and you're gonna say something about that person. Like in this case, it was, you know, lots of people, you're well connected. It may or may not be a fit for you, but I would love if you could help me by just taking a look at it and give me some feedback.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, that's why I forgot. I was like, what's the verbiage I'm thinking of again? And that's it. Okay.
that's it. So Laura, take us from there. When you make that contact and you use that evaluation approach, what are the next couple of steps that we're going to take them through?
Well, you want to have a meet and greet. We used to do that in person, but now with Zoom, we do the same thing, grab coffee over a Zoom, or even if it's maybe just a phone call and get to know that person a little bit better. It might be just a straight up conversation of where they're from, what they're looking for, you know, if they just moved here per se, or, and then lead into, you can take that, then the next step is a first Zoom, which then one of us partners are going to jump in on that, and because you don't want to do it by yourself, and then go over the first part of the business. If they've said that they have an interest in either looking for something or to help you out to evaluate it, or an interest in leveraged income, one of those areas. And then the first part of the Zoom, the first part of our business plan is just in conversation mode, just talking over the, you know, while the slides are up, and giving them the background of our company and who we are and what we're looking for, and if they know anybody.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
And some of the keys,
I
it's conversation mode. It's not presentation mode. Because
Yeah.
you don't want to go in there and just present.
Right.
I'd like to get to a point that when you guys are going into that first part, that first Zoom session, that you could actually text out to the group and say, I have somebody that is of this background. You know, so for example, I have somebody that has a mortgage broker background, and he's tried the OPC3 and is willing to get on a Zoom with me. Or I have a real estate agent, hasn't had any exposure to anything related to the business, but is willing to help me out and look at part one. Is anybody willing or able to jump on with me at such and such a time? Make sure you put your time zone.
Yeah.
Because we're all in different time zones.
Mhm.
So, and at this time on this day. And that way we can all kind of go, I could help. And then you can go, oh, well, let me match some backgrounds together. Because you don't want to be so outnumbered. You don't want to have like 3 unfranchised owners and then your guests show up. But you definitely definitely do not want to do them by yourself. There is power in doing it at least 2-on-1.
Okay.
Okay. So we really encourage you, do not do it alone. That it just,
Oh, I won't be doing it alone.
Yeah, not only the power, but it's also a message to that person that we do work in teams. So that person sees that if they were interested, they would also get that help. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of psychology to it, but a lot of it is just imprinting the process so that they see how it works, and then they'll do it properly if they do come on board.
no different than how you went through it, Jamie.
Right.
Daisha got you on a Zoom with me.
Yep.
So same thing. So does anybody have any questions related to that process? Because the more I could tell you, until we get doing them on a regular basis, it's just doing it. And I know Denise and Laura can say this because it's like the hardest part is getting the engine going. But once you go, it's like so much easier when you're doing them, because now things are going to roll off your tongue comfortably, but they don't roll off your tongue comfortably at the beginning. It just comes with practice. It's the only way that you can get it, is practicing and getting out there. So
Which is another reason why it's good to be 2-on-1, because if you're presenting to someone you know and you get a little tongue-tied and and you forget the words, the other person can jump in like a color commentator in sports and just kind of take it from there without embarrassing you in any way, shape, or form, but just make it kind of smooth, fill in the gaps, and then just kind of turn it back over to you. So it's a natural back and forth, and you don't have to feel the pressure of having to know everything, because someone else is going to help you.
awesome.
Awesome.
Maria, have you been able to, I know that you were working on your story and getting it consolidated. Have you been able to try it out on anybody or practice it on anyone yet?
I did practice a little bit on Saturday. I was at a party at Shayna's and her boyfriend's. So a couple people had asked, you know, one of the girls was talking about taking collagen and how awful it tasted. So we were standing in the kitchen and I said, Shayna, do you have any collagen here? And she said, yeah. I said, would you get one out and give it to her, please? And she goes, well, how did you get involved with this? So I did my short little commercial that I had sent to you last week. And there was another girl, I had Clear Shield sitting there on the counter. Obviously forgot to put it on before all the bugs bit me. But the one girl was a hairdresser down in Charleston and they were visiting for the day. And when I went to put it on, she goes, what is that? And I said, oh, it's Clear Shield. And I gave her a little back and she goes, well, I've been a hairdresser for 16 years. I never heard of this stuff. And I said, well, you're not going to just find it on a shelf somewhere. It's a product that our company, you know, sells. And I said, Shayna sells it as well. So she took a picture of the can and I said, Shayna, give her your website. And, you know, we did that. So got to introduce a little product, and I did use my commercial twice during that day. So we'll see if she gets any customers out of what I spewed out of my mouth on Saturday.
Well, I will say this, Maria, and you know this, don't wait for them, because what happens is people go home, they get in life, they forget about that day even happened.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really important that, since that was on the 4th,
Yeah.
to really, like tomorrow, follow up with them and just say, I don't want to, you know, bother you, but I just wanted to follow up. Did you want some more information, or can I get you more information on that thing we talked about, whatever it was?
Do you have their emails?
I do not. They're friends of Shayna's.
Okay.
So I'll tell her to make sure she follows up with them tomorrow. Hopefully she'll be settled. She started a new job today, so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know,
Yeah. So if she can't.
going back to work after 3 months. So.
Okay.
Well, good.
Yeah. So since you were there, even if she can't follow up, I would just simply take it and follow up on her behalf. Because if she can't follow up because of her job or whatever, I would definitely not let it go.
Okay.
It's kind of like me reaching out to Jamie. I didn't sponsor Jamie, Stacia did, but I'm still going to reach out to Jamie to help her. It's still part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And by the way, Clearfield is an amazing product that doesn't get enough love.
You're right.
Yes, it is.
Clear Shield is. Lynn and Walter, do you know what Clear Shield is? Jamie, do you know what Clear Shield is?
Nope.
Maria, tell us what Clear Shield is.
Sounds like
Clear
bug spray.
Shield. What's that? No, it's not
it
really a bug spray. I forget how the can actually markets it, but it's actually, when you put it on your skin, it creates a barrier. So it's really good for hairdressers, mechanics, people that are working with their hands a lot is really the intended use. However, a side effect is that if you put it on your, I usually do it before I go out and do my lawn work. I'll put it on my arms and my legs. The bugs stay away from you.
Mhm. It's like a shaving
It's
cream kind of,
sunscreen?
No, it is not
Okay.
a sunscreen.
you know?
But
So
it
it's just
comes out of the
a little
can in
barrier on your skin.
Yeah, it comes out of the can in a foam and you just rub it on. It was
That's pretty
intended-
cool.
Yeah, your skin can
So-
still breathe. Your skin can still breathe. It was actually formulated in the medical community so that people, health professionals, can wear latex gloves for those people that had allergies. But it forms a monomolecular bond, so your skin can still breathe, and it exfoliates as you wash your hands, etc. So you wash your hands a whole lot, it's not going to stay on as much, but you can reapply. And
So is it for healthcare professionals? Because I'm thinking like,
for anybody,
dentist.
for right now, for
So you-
anybody who doesn't want anything penetrating their skin anywhere. It's also
Mechanic.
great for babies' bottoms. I've used that on my grandbabies, or the first one actually. She had a little bit of issue, but also my youngest daughter had amblyopia. Well, I guess you always kind of still have it, and she had to wear a patch. And so I would put it on her skin here around her eye, right, not up on the soft spot, but all down here where the stickiness of the patch went, because otherwise her little face got so raw. So I put that on there. The patch still stuck, but it didn't irritate her skin.
cool.
Yeah. And then you can like put hand cream on or cream on your legs and then let that soak in about 10 minutes and put Clear Shield on and sleep with it all night and you have baby soft skin.
And
Yeah.
Florida is known for fire ants. And I can tell you, we used to put it on before we went out in the lawn, and the fire ants would not bite us. When
They break their little teeth, or the mosquitoes break their little stingers. That's what someone said.
Yeah, it's like an invisible glove. So it's like if you imagine shaving cream and then putting it on, and you're creating, like Laura said, the barrier, and it protects you from all kinds of things.
It's more than
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's more than just a little barrier though. And I love that you said it doesn't get enough love, because this
Yeah.
product, actually, Laura will remember this. We used to do a demonstration with
Muriatic.
muriatic acid. If you put muriatic acid, which is used in pools and will burn the skin, if you put Clear Shield on and let it dry and put muriatic acid on your hand, it will not burn your hand. There it is.
Can't find the camera.
But
There you
yeah,
I know. It's like, I can't see it. Okay.
so it's good for anyone that's working with chemicals,
And this is
dye,
how it comes out.
color,
Okay.
anything. So the hair salon industry, the medical industry, anyone working in painting and engine work and stuff like that,
Mhm.
oils, anyone around chemicals, anything like that. It's an excellent. I used to sell years ago when I first started, I used to sell it by the caseload to my carpet cleaner. Because he said the stuff they clean the carpets with that he was always filling the container with, it would splash up on him and it would burn him. And so he used to lather himself in it every day, twice a day.
You should see this stuff. It's Clear Shield, and it's like Clear Shield of like gloves. Like
It
the
also
gloves.
makes cleanup a breeze
so
too,
those of you
especially that's why
Lynn,
mechanics
I
like
mean,
it.
you being in the medical field, working in the medical field, I mean, there's so many applications for it for people to be able to do what they do. I mean, I have massage therapists that don't want to wear gloves to massage, but they want that barrier. And this is that barrier. It's like a second skin.
Yeah,
That's
our daughter,
awesome.
she was, she actually, when she was younger, she flew with my parents across, over to Ireland. They took them on a trip, and our son and daughter were sitting next to each other. Of course, they were cutting up, and they ordered tea. They never drank tea before, and they bumped each other and spilled the tea on Jessica's jeans, right on her top inner thigh. And of course, her jeans were tight. She couldn't get them off. So it was like constant, hot. It was very, very hot tea, scalding tea, just burning on her jeans like that. Well, when she came home, she had a hole on her skin like that. And she was a competitive swimmer, and it was now getting time for all the big time training. Well, what we did is, I didn't let her in the water for a week until it still kind of like scabbed a bit, but then I put that Clear Shield on, and then she was able to swim, and the sore just kept healing and healing, but did not, didn't have any of the chlorine or the, junk in, public pool like that anywhere near that sore. I've never seen anything heal like that in my life.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of excuse the pun, applications for it.
We truly have so many awesome products. It's crazy.
Denise, were you going to say something?
I was just going to talk about the reason mechanics like it is because it makes cleanup a breeze. If they put it on their hands before they're working with oil and grease and stuff in the engine, or I paint a lot. So if I remember to put it on before I paint, and I'm a messy painter. So shut up. So because it creates that barrier, the mechanics can wash their hands a whole lot faster, and it doesn't get all up in their nails, the black stuff. And the paint washes off a whole lot easier than it does without, I don't have to scrub as hard.
Yeah. I'm glad this came up. I actually had a thing on the list to talk about, new products. And since this came up, that's good. One of the things I think we don't do enough of, and Beth and I talk about this, and of course we go on to other things, is, highlighting some of the lesser known products. We all know OPC, we all know, certain nutritionals, but we literally have life-changing products in all different areas that no one ever seems to know about. And a lot of it is just because it doesn't get talked about. Like we have car products that are incredible, that increase gas mileage, that you can put in with every oil change and help your engine. And, it kind of fills in any gaps. If there's any kind of nicks in the engine, the product will fill in the gaps in the metal. All different kinds of things. And they're just not as well known as the nutritional products, because most people are introduced to this business because of nutritional products, because something changes their life. And that's what they become passionate about, because whether it's, an illness or allergies or something, and all of a sudden you have a passion for this line of products. But there are so many other things.
The others aren't as sexy all the time.
Right.
But we've got great products. What other questions do you guys have?
That's all I have right now. I just want to get back into like the
Okay.
go for us.
And let me also tell you, and you may know this, you may not, and it's okay. I don't know if everyone knows this. We do have a website, bv411.com. And on that website is a wealth of information on getting started, on creating goals, on doing all these things that we talk about. they're available on that website. And you can download the materials, you can watch videos. We have old team calls logged in there. We have a lot of company materials. We have things that we've picked out that we think a new person should know. So that's available as well.
Okay. Awesome.
We put a lot of time into creating that site, and I'm not sure everyone utilizes it as much as probably we should, because again, we don't come on the calls and talk about it.
Right. And of course, whenever, with whatever you read, you listen to, whatever questions you have, you can always reach out to somebody. Bless you. You can always reach out to somebody and ask questions, because that's why we're here. We're here as a team to move everyone's business forward.
That's right.
So again, it starts by making that list of people. And we always, I say this because even those of us who have a list, we should still be adding to that list at all times. And we talk about that, getting into, if you can't get out and meet people, get into Facebook groups of areas of interest, people who have similar backgrounds to you, start listening to what they're saying and create that list, but then look at that list and go, who are the top 10 most connected people that I could start making reach outs to this week? And then the next week you select another list of 10. It might include some people that were on the first week because you didn't reach them. But every week, just create a top 10 and make it a point to reach out and at least reach 2 people per day, 5 days a week. You'll have enough appointments moving forward to be able to start creating customers. You don't lead with the product. You don't lead with the business. You lead with something about that person. It might be, will you help me because you're well connected? It might be, will you help me because you're my best friend forever? It might be, were you serious when you were telling me and complaining about this, that, or the other thing? If I could show you something that could possibly be a solution, would you be open to that? Not everyone's open to a solution, but some people are. Laura and I were talking earlier today, and Laura, I counted all those texts I sent. I sent over 100.
Did you really? Wow.
So when I sent out the text yesterday saying that I texted this to all of our customers, Pip put together our list of customers, everyone that has purchased a branded product from us in the last year. And so we went back 12 months. And I texted that out to every single one of our customers about tonight's event that we just had. And out of all of those 100, I heard back from a total, earlier it was 3 that I had heard back from. By tonight, I had heard back from 5. Of those 5, 2 of those got on the call tonight. So over 100 texts, but only 2. But keep in mind, these are people, I've been in the business a long time, you guys. These are people who know me. It's not a lot of new people. Those of you who have new people who you have not even reached out to yet, you could reach out to 100 people. I wouldn't recommend reaching out to 100, because if you reach out to 100, you might actually get 30 or 40, and then you wouldn't know what to do. You'd be crazy. You wouldn't be able to do justice to it. So just pick 10. Reach out to 10. The reason I reached out to so many is because we've been in the business a long time. We have a lot of customers. But again, one of those customers said, I couldn't get on tonight, but I'm very interested in learning more. Please send me the next one. So now I have permission to send the next one. Another one that was on the call tonight, I did a follow-up with right after, sold 2 more bottles of OPC to them because she was like, I don't think I'm taking enough. She heard Denise's story. Okay, so again, these are people who already buy daily essentials from us. They buy magnesium, they buy vitamin D, they buy joint support formula. And she said, I think I probably need to add more OPC to my regimen. Would you agree with that? And we talked about it. I said, yes. And she said, 2 more bottles. So just like that, 2 more bottles went out. So that blesses everybody on the team with BV. So
What other questions, comments, complaints, concerns? That's how I used to end every staff meeting.
Yeah.
I always seem to get the complaints and concerns.
Yeah, so I think that you kind of explained in the website, I guess, that you created to kind of help with some of the startup items and stuff. I think it's a big help.
Yep.
I think it will be a big help. Because I'm the type of person, like, I know pretty much everything there's to know about mortgage, I think. Always still learning, I guess, but it's I want to know, because I have to know the ins and outs of almost everything before I really dive into it, just by personality.
Yep.
So that's great that you put that out there for us to, I appreciate that. That we take a look at it and
Yep.
kind of
Take a look
get
at it.
started.
And if you have any suggestions or there's stuff missing, let us know. Because
Sure.
when we put it together, the people who put it together had a lot of experience. So our perspective is different than someone who's brand new. So any feedback is appreciated.
And if
Yeah, I'm sure I won't have anything on there that'll be too much, because I mean, if all you guys put together, I'm sure it'll be good.
It's pretty comprehensive. I mean, it's not something you're going to go there and get all your answers right away. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and you can download a lot of it and print it and read it. And like I said, there's a repository of old calls. I wouldn't recommend just randomly listening to those. But I think we have some special ones that are in a different location with some videos that might be worth seeing, but I wouldn't go to the repository.
And honestly,
Okay.
before you get down any of those bunny trails, I would tell you, contact us. First of all, I would go to the Getting Started page and the Getting Started guide that you got in your packet. And let's start with that list of people you know, and how are we going to reach out to them? And that requires jumping on and doing a conversation to come up with a plan of attack. So
Okay.
just get that together and then contact us so we can come up with a plan of attack of how to best leverage your time with it.
Okay. We'll do.
Awesome. Lynn and Walter, you've been very quiet tonight. Do you guys have anything?
We're quiet people.
We can't hear you.
Said we're quiet people.
What do you think?
There's a couple people on this website that would know that that's not true about me.
Quiet.
One question, the presentation from earlier this afternoon, is that on your BV 411 site? It showed that it was recording.
The one that Beth did?
Yeah,
I did record it. It's not, it just uploaded before this call.
okay.
But I don't know that I was gonna put it on BB 411, but I will definitely send it out. Do you guys want it?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I have a guest that she couldn't get on, but she asked if it was going to be recorded because she wants to start the series.
Okay, so I think what we'll do, we probably need to put it on BB 411 in a series.
I can start a series and just do video 1, video 2, video 3, and this will just be.
Yeah, just so you guys know, what our plan of attack is, we've joined hands with a couple of other leaders across the state of Florida to be able, because we all have health professionals on our teams. And so we've joined hands that we're going to be putting out something every other week. This week was different because honestly, a little greedy. I had customers that were waiting for an event and they couldn't start till next week. So meaning the people I'm teaming up with. So I was like, oh, well, I'm doing one this week. So that's what I did tonight. And then, but we'll be starting and kicking off next week. But we've got cardiologists, we've got massage therapists, we've got a number of registered nurses. I'm trying to think who else. We've got mental
Dr.
health
Dwight.
counselors. We've got a doctor of Oriental medicine that works with pediatrics. I mean, we've got so many different people. Laura, special ed teacher, myself, as an occupational therapist. We've got just so many different people. And so the goal is that we're going to be covering different topics and highlighting a health professional so that you can promote that to potential clients to come join us, because when they hear from the health professional, suddenly it has more value. So the goal is that we're going to be doing these. So each week or every other week, there will be something different. So yeah, we'll actually upload tonight. And then as we do them, we'll be recording them and we'll upload them.
Okay.
Any other questions? What was it? Questions, comments?
Complaints, concerns?
Laura, you had your hand up earlier.
It was about the recording.
Oh, okay.
Two other products that we use one for lawn power for our garden, our yard for the grass. And then we planted a garden this year, the best garden we've ever had.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh,
Cow.
I'll jump on that one too.
oh my gosh.
What did you put on there?
Was that lawn power or plant power?
This is plant power.
Plant power.
Okay. Well, we had lawn power, and I'll tell this story that expired years ago because we moved from our house in Trinity in 2011, and we were using lawn power. The product's been on our shelf for all these years because we moved from Trinity to the mountains, and we didn't have a lawn in the mountains because it was all woods. So it moved back to Florida with us. Well, we bought a basil plant and it started to look a little droopy. And I thought, you know what? We have this lawn power, and it's not plant power, it's lawn power, and it's expired. So I thought, what do I have to lose? The basil plant looks like it's dying anyway. So I put just a few drops of the lawn power into a cup of water and slowly started feeding it. And we have an avocado tree that we started from, seed, and it's now like, I don't know, 2.5 feet tall. And I didn't want to start on the avocado tree in case it went really bad. So I figured I'd start on the basil plant that was not doing well. Within a day, the basil plant turned around and started getting greener. And now I'm feeding it to the avocado tree. I'm not overdosing it. I'm only putting a little in. And it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another product. Like Paul, you said the plant power. Well, the lawn power is doing the same thing for our plants. So I don't know what's in it. It's an enzyme food, but it's amazing. The basil plant that was almost dead is now like a basil bush.
So Paul, was that a zucchini?
Yes.
Okay. Laura, aren't you the one that years ago had a mango or papaya that went crazy?
It was tomatoes. I did a before and after of tomatoes, and the tomatoes were humongous.
And that was plant power?
Plant power.
Okay. Well, I used the plant power up in the mountains when we had our garden. I used them on the seedlings. And what I did was I kind of used it as my watering, and the seedlings were amazing.
But the deer ate the zucchini.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the end of the story is we never got the vegetables because the deer jumped into the garden and ate them.
The end of the story is we kept the deer very well fed.
So do you have a whole crop that big? How many of those do you have?
Just one plant.
Oh, wow.
That particular one was growing underneath the plant, and it was like under a leaf and between the border of the garden. And we've got it in like a flower bed type garden that has like a rock border around it, or like, what are they, not pavers, but anyway, stones you buy that make a wall, whatever that's called. So it was like in between that and the plant, and so we didn't see it, and it was just like growing like forever under there.
Zucchini, you can lose zucchini in amongst all their big leaves that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. We'll be over. Awesome. great shares, you guys. Appreciate everybody sharing so much. So I think that's it. that we
Yeah,
have.
so now we know everyone needs to get Clear Shield and either lawn power or plant power.
And feed it to your children.
You'll need zucchinis that size if you feed it to your kids.
Oh, funny. Well, you
All
guys,
right.
if you have any questions, all I could say, we just can't encourage you enough. This business is absolutely amazing, but you've got to take the action to put it in front of people. And as we always talk about, that is not saying too much, just saying enough to create curiosity. The more you say, the more you drive people away. It's all about raising the curiosity for them to want to know more about either your business or your products. And if you just get good at raising curiosity, you will be so wildly successful, but you've got to take that action to do it. So I think we should probably one of these weeks come back with our goals and our goal boards and our dream boards where we put things into pictures and stuff like that, because there's so much value in all that. And I can tell you, you're never going to take the actions if your goals are not clear. We got to get our goals clear as to what we want, because that's what's going to make you do the uncomfortable. So,
Absolutely.
anybody have any last words, comments?
Thank you.
No.
Nope,
All right.
that's it.
All right.
Thank
Stay well.
Everybody.
Yeah, have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good evening.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.